The nonprofit Center for Biological Diversity is suing the Environmental Protection Agency over its approval of road construction in Florida using radioactive waste. The suit focuses on the use of phosphogypsum, a form of cancer-causing radioactive toxic waste generated by the fertilizer industry. It's been banned by the EPA in road construction since 1992. In December, under former President Biden, the EPA approved the use of the material in a project in Mulberry, Florida. This is about 40 miles east of Tampa. In a statement earlier this month, the lawyer representing the nonprofit said the EPA is, quote, tripling the permitted cancer risk to the public and ignoring key radiation pathways. Amy Green joins us now. She's a Florida reporter at Inside Climate News. Amy, thank you for joining us. What are the main arguments in this lawsuit?
Right. Well, as you said, the Center for Biological Diversity filed this lawsuit against the EPA under the Clean Air Act. And at the heart of the lawsuit is this road project at this facility outside Tampa owned by Mosaic Fertilizer. And the lawsuit is about this toxic material, phosphogypsum, which is carcinogenic and radioactive. And the lawsuit argues that since the 90s, the EPA has prohibited the use of this substance, phosphogypsum, in road construction because of the threat for public health.
So how harmful is phosphogypsum to humans and the environment, and how has it been regulated in the past?
Right. So phosphogypsum is pretty harmful. It contains radium, which as it decomposes becomes radon gas. And both radium and radon gas are carcinogenic and radioactive. And so usually this phosphogypsum is disposed of in engineered stacks like the one you're seeing now that are designed to minimize the threat of emissions of radon gas for the public, but there are problems with these stacks. And just for example, here in Florida in 2021, one of those stacks at a site called Piney Point leaked and threatened to collapse, and it forced the release of hundreds of millions of gallons of contaminated water into Tampa Bay.
In December, the company behind the project, as you mentioned, Mosaic, said members of the public are not expected to come into contact with the road. So is that the ultimate goal? And still, are the workers who construct this road still at risk?
Right. So Mosaic says that this road would be constructed on private property at their facility outside of Tampa. Mosaic says that the road would be divided into 4 sections, and each section would be composed of varying mixtures involving phosphogypsum as a means of testing the material in the road construction. Mosaic says that the phosphogypsum would be in the base layer of the road and would be paved over with asphalt, and that University of Florida researchers would be involved in the project and in the testing and in the research of the project. And Mosaic characterizes this project as relatively small.
If the EPA outlawed using the product in road construction since 1992, why would they approve this one-off project now?
EPA says that the authorization is limited very narrowly to this one particular project, and the authorization contained some parameters to make sure that the authorization remains within that scope. But of course, the Center for Biological Diversity raises concerns in its litigation that by allowing this project to go forward, it could pave the way for other projects across the country. And here in Florida in 2023, our Governor Ron DeSantis approved a law authorizing our State Department of Transportation to study the use of phosphogypsum in roadways.
Amy Green, thank you so much for your time.
It's my pleasure.